Hello and welcome to this video on taking orders. In previous section, we learned all about how to properly greet and seat customers entering a fine dining establishment. In this video, we'll be breaking down the things to consider to be successful at taking the order once they sat down on their table. Let's get started. So the customers have sat down and they are ready to look what your menu offers. The first thing to consider when serving them is making sure that your customers have the correct menu. This means that they have the right menu for both food and beverages. Sometimes they may be different for lunch or for dinner, so you will need to make sure that they have the right ones based on that as well. Remember to mention the missing items from your menu immediately. Now, the second thing to consider is making sure that you have the accurate information on individual dishes according to customers' requirements. Pay attention to the questions, answer truthfully. Next is to take advantage of what you learned on Module 2 and take the opportunity to maximize the order using appropriate sales technique. You need to know what is in your menu to be able to describe the product really well and so that they will sell. Next thing you will need to do is to check for products and brand preferences with a customer-cautious manner. This is by politely asking an example whether they will prefer their drink cold or at a room temperature. Speaking of drinks, another thing to do is advise customers on a selection of drinks and make recommendations where required. Assist customers to make a choice where appropriate. This is the right moment to upsell your product. There could be beverage pairings that works best with different food, for example, a particular wine with a cheese dish, so make sure to know which one is wished to be able to give suggestions. The third thing to consider is to identify specific customer preferences. If they like spicy dishes, you might be able to suggest something else that pairs with it very well. If they prefer one over the other, you will need to check which is available. Make sure to take notes with it and give them the best alternative. Speaking of writing it down, being a good waiter or waitress means to properly recording and relaying information about special requests, dietary or cultural requirements promptly and accurately to duty chef. For example, there are some people who do not eat dairy products, so you will need to tell a chef to prepare their meal without that. Usually, customers will ask questions whether dishes have particular ingredients to see whether they match their current preferences or restrictions. In any case, make sure to know all the menu items are prepared so you can answer customers' questions on menu items correctly and cautiously. When writing down the orders, make sure to write them in a clean, readable handwriting and by using the format required for the enterprise. Don't bring the doctor's handwriting here. Once you're done writing, verify orders with customers. This means you have to repeat orders to everyone on your table before placing the order. Once you have placed the order in the system, quickly send the orders to the kitchen and bar. This way, you can make sure not making any mistake, and if you do need to remember something, you do it right away to avoid forgetting. And last but not least is the same as the previous points. Identify, record it, and then deal with the orders promptly. Don't delay. The faster the service, the better. Never keep your customers waiting because they will cause them to leave and give establishments a bad reputation. So to close off, in the video we learned all about how to make sure to properly take orders from guests at a food and beverage establishment. In the next video, we'll be learning how to be a good waiter by taking large party orders. Then we'll come back again, we talk about how to serve food and beverages once they have been prepared. In the next page, take a shot at the quiz about the video to test your understanding. See you in the next video.